What is up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again, and today we're going to review Kong Skull Island. So, Kong Skull Island stars Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, and John C. Reilly. And what this film is about, it's about when, these guys, they discover an uncharted island, and they decide they're going to go there, and what they discover is that there's a massive ape there named Kong, and basically he is the king there, and there's also some other creatures that live among this place. So, what did I think of Kong Skull Island? Now, King Kong as a character, I love. King Kong is definitely a fantastic character in my opinion. However, his movies for the most part are really bad. They really are. Like, his movies are really bad for the most part. The original King Kong does not hold up, really. It does not hold up at all to me. The one with Jeff Bridges is not that great either, and the sequel to that is pretty awful. The only good King Kong movie, the only one that I enjoy, is the Peter Jackson one. I actually think that one is great. That's a great movie. So, that's really the only King Kong movie I could say that I've enjoyed. And going into this one, I was really looking forward to it because it looked like just a big old fun monster movie. Just a big old fun monster movie. I was really looking forward to that. And I gotta say, I wasn't disappointed with that. This movie delivered on everything I wanted it to be. It is just a fun monster movie. I loved it. It was so great. I had a blast with Kong Skull Island. It is such a great, just fun, entertaining movie that you could just sit back and just have a blast with. I absolutely loved Kong Skull Island. So let's get into my positives for Kong Skull Island. My positives are the acting in the movie. The acting was actually really good in this movie. I thought Tom Hiddleston, aka Nathan Drake, because literally his attire in this movie is the exact same as Nathan Drake's in Uncharted 4, but still, he was great. I absolutely enjoyed him in this movie. He did such a fantastic job, He's just kind of like, the guy that has to be brought on the expedition. He's like the tough guy, and he was great. I actually loved him in the movie. I really enjoyed him in the film, and, he just did a really good job. Brie Larson was great, too. I loved her in this movie, and I really don't get why some people are saying her character does nothing in this movie, because there's some things in this movie that she has to do, and I'm like, were you people even paying attention to the movie, really? Like, she was really great. I did enjoy her character a lot, and she was just really great. I really enjoyed her in the movie. Samuel L. Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson is just great in anything he's in, he just really is. And I loved him in this movie, too. He did a really great job as well. John Goodman was really good too, I enjoyed him as well, and John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly was great as well. So yeah, the acting was really good in the movie. I thought everyone did a really solid job. Toby Kebbell is not in it for that much really, but when he is in there, he was really good. I did enjoy his character, so yeah. So the acting is really good in the movie. The action sequences are fantastic. I absolutely love the action sequences with this movie. They are so great in my opinion. I really love the action sequences with this film, and of course I'm not going to give anything away, but once you get the first introduction to Kong, yeah, that scene is quite awesome if you ask me, and there's some other scenes that happen in this movie too that are quite great. The action sequences are just the definition of just like a fun monster movie, really. Like, it's so great. I love the action sequences with this film. I love the interpretation of Kong that we have in this movie. I do think the interpretation of Kong is great in this movie, because, Kong has to have a presence, and he definitely has a presence in this movie, and I thought this is definitely one of the best interpretations of Kong. This is probably my second favorite interpretation of this character. I still think the Peter Jackson was the best interpretation of the character, but this was definitely another great interpretation of the Kong character, and I really enjoyed that with this movie, and also the other creatures, because Kong's not the only creature on this island. Like, there's some other creatures on this island, and they were quite great. Like, I really love the designs with them. They were just really cool. I love the creatures in this movie. The writing was really great. I thought the writing was pretty solid in the movie. The directing holy cow, the directing with this movie is quite amazing. Like, I love this. I'm going out right now. This is one of the best directed films of the year, because holy moly, the directing with this movie is quite fantastic. Like, the cinematography, whoo, like, it is fantastic, the cinematography with this movie, and plus the color scheme. Like, the color scheme with the movie is great too. There's a scene, of course no spoilers, but there's a scene where Tom Hiddleston grabs a sword and a gas mask, and holy moly, the green in that scene. Now, green's my favorite color, so the way they use green in that scene was quite fantastic, and it was beautiful. Dang it, it really was. Like, it was so great. Literally, my mouth was, my jaw was on the floor when I saw that. So, yeah, just the cinematography and the way that this movie was filmed. The editing is great, too. I love the editing with this movie. Definitely is very well edited as well. So, yeah, the directing is so fantastic with this movie. I absolutely love the directing. And plus, there's some points during this movie, they actually do, like, first-person shots. Like, if you're in a first-person shooter video game, really cool. Like, I thought that was so cool when I saw that. It was really cool. So, yeah, the directing is fantastic with this movie. The visual effects are really good too. I did think most of the effects looked really, really great. Like, especially with Kong and, like, these other, like, I guess, like, skull creatures, as they call them in the movie. They looked really great. I actually thought they actually looked really great in the movie. And the visual effects were actually really good, in my opinion. And the pacing, for the most part, is really solid too. The movie's an hour and 58 minutes, and moves at a pretty solid pace for the most part. It really does. So yeah, the movie does move at a pretty solid pace for the most part. Now, the only negatives I do have with Kong Skull Island are, first being, the visual effects sometimes, not a lot, but there are some times where the visual effects don't look that great. They don't look awful or anything, but there are times where I did think the visual effects could have been done a little bit better in some areas, but that's really about it. And also, that the movie kind of does move at a slow pace at times. There are some times where the movie kind of does drag a little. And that's about it, really. That's the only thing I've got for negatives with this film. Everything else is really great. This is the definition of just a fun monster movie, and I had a blast with it. Like, I really don't get the mixed reception with this movie. Man, what is with me this year with, like, some movies, like with Power Rangers, Cure for Wellness, Guardians 2, and now this. Like, I'm just on the opposite side with a lot of people with movies this year, because I had a blast with this movie. It's so great. I really enjoyed it. So, stop for my official grade on Kong Skull Island, and my official grade on Kong Skull Island is an A-. It's a really great movie. I had such a blast with it. It definitely is such a great, just fun monster movie. Definitely had a blast with it, and definitely deserves an A-. So, if you have seen Kong Skull Island, what did you think of it? Leave it in the comments section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you all later. Peace.